What it do? What it do? We are back. Trash talking with the old heads. I'm that old head host, Dante, along with my old head partners, Greg and Jerry. What it do, fellas?
Yeah. You know what it is. I'm here. My partners are here. And you know what I say? No excuses. Play like a champion. Roll Tide. Roll motherfucking Tide, bitch. All day, every day. Gotta
Hey,
represent gotta represent the brand,
you
baby.
got to give him
Gotta
points for
represent the
consistency. You
brand.
know what I'm saying? You got to give him points for he always rolling with his boys. You know what I'm saying?
Always. I don't switch up. I don't have Duke as my team went in basketball and Florida as my team in football or North Carolina or
Shots,
Kentucky. These
shots
people
fired.
crazy, man.
Shots
They
fired.
crazy. I don't even understand what this dude doing. Hold on, let America see what this guy got on
What?
after yelling Duke this whole time. Basketball.
got
Now
on
look what
the,
he got
got the
on.
nerve to have on orange and blue.
Yeah,
What's wrong with
yeah,
that? I'm
yeah.
a Gator fan in football.
No,
What
you
you
are
mean?
in football.
Yeah, yeah,
Football, you trash.
yeah. But
You supposed to have
anyway,
your Duke. You supposed to have on
Yeah,
some Duke.
where's your Duke gear, sir? You
I
said
got
last week you had on Orlando Magic.
yeah, well. I got a Denver hat in there. I got a lot of stuff in there. You know what I'm saying?
Man, you got to rep your squad, dog.
But you
I'm
know what
tired of
it
this.
is. It's your boy JW. You know, champions over here still. You know, the Florida Gators.
What? Okay,
You know,
let's
that's
get
how we
into it.
do it.
Let's
Oh
We
start
my!
what
this.
you mean? We won a
Let's
championship
start
in
this show.
football. What are you talking about? You know what I'm
Let's
saying?
start this
Why
show,
play
man.
like a champion when you can be a champion?
Man, that was
y'all
that was
y'all
20
know
years
the y'all
ago.
know the y'all know the old head saying we say what the hell we want to say on this here podcast. You know what I'm saying? Hey, before we get started though, we got to say one thank you to all the subscribers on YouTube. But hey, we need more subscribers. Don't forget to go to YouTube, hit that like and subscribe button. We definitely appreciate all the support. Trash talking with the old heads. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Facebook. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. We appreciate everybody who has done so already. But let's get into it, fellas.
Absolutely.
Final
Let's do it.
four. Houston
Mm.
choke job, bruh. And that, even though I picked Florida to win the championship, in my heart, I was kind of pulling for Houston. Not even gonna lie, bro. I was pulling for Houston. G, did they give it away or did Florida take it, bro?
SEC. SEC.
Here he go.
SEC. Hey, what did we say at the beginning of the when we started talking about college basketball? Probably around January when we really started focusing on it. And everybody was saying how tough the SEC was. And I said, hey, we pretty tough now. Look at what's going on in the out of conference records. And we said what needed to happen. They needed to put a good amount of teams in the Sweet 16 and the Elite Eight, and at least be in the championship game. Well, they did that, and then they won. Choke job is a strong word, but they Houston did choke in those with if you consider them having four turnovers in their last four possessions,
Right.
and then losing
Not getting a
by
shot off.
losing by 2 points, a game that they pretty much was in control. You kind of have to say choke job because there was also a choke job, a bigger choke job done in the previous game,
Oh, yeah,
and
we're
we'll
gonna
get
get
to
it out.
that in a second.
Yeah.
But Florida was eventually going to catch a rhythm. They had proven all tournament long, especially in the latter rounds in the Sweet 16, Elite Eight, Final Four, that you can't count them out. You can have them down, but they never were out unless you were blowing them out. And they never let the league get out of hand to where they couldn't make a comeback. As the game started to wane later in the minute, I was like, maybe Houston can pull it out. I wouldn't have been mad that Houston would have won. I ain't no Florida fan, so I didn't want them to have that championship as well as them whooping our ass for three straight games. They didn't beat us three times in a row, maybe four times in a row. But nah, I won't necessarily call it a huge choke job, but turning over the ball in the last four possessions, that kind of speaks to eh, eh, eh.
Yeah, you agree?
I don't know. I didn't watch the championship game. I'm gonna be honest with you.
That's terrible. That is terrible.
That was no
Ned
reason
to come out here with Florida gear on.
That's part of your job, sir. That is part of your job.
Right.
As a Duke fan,
we can't do this.
As a Duke fan, there was no reason for me to watch that game. I was too.
Be muting your mic right now.
I was too.
Exactly.
I was too hurt. In fact, I just found out who won the game. Thank y'all for letting me know who won the championship for the NCAA men's college basketball.
He's about to get muted, dog.
Mute this guy, man.
But I'll be more than willing to chip in and give my opinions on the Duke and Houston.
Well, let me give my opinion. I'm with you, G. The ultimate, they choked it away, bro. I'm sorry, man. I mean, the turnovers. They had control of that game, man. Florida, you say they caught a rhythm? Not really. You know what I'm saying?
They did catch a rhythm. They were down by what, 12 points? But
that whole game, they was kind of off. And Houston really gave it to them. They didn't really catch a rhythm. Houston gave them points. You know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing.
And my biggest thing is that last possession, bro. I'm like, bruh. It don't seem like they came out even knowing what they were trying to really do on the last possession. I'm like, man, the coaching was bad.
The spacing was bad. But here's the thing with Houston, man, they're not an offensive powerhouse. Nope. They shot the ball from three a lot.
We said that last week. Yeah, we said it last week.
So the fact that they were able to have an offensive rhythm in the first half and in the first part of the second half was something that I didn't expect. I was expecting it to be a back and forth, you know what I'm saying, fight. I thought that Florida would pull away because their offense was a lot more, they were a lot more explosive, certainly than what they had shown all season. But yeah, they did catch a rhythm, Dante. If you look at the game, they were down by about 12 points with probably about 5 to 6 minutes left in the game. I'm not looking at let me pull up the stats. You can pull it up yourself. But it was a part of the game where Clayton ended up getting some points in the bucket, not his usual 3-point barrage that he goes on. That guy, not Elijah Martin, what was the other guy? Richards. He was hot all game. And I think they got a couple steals, got some layups that got them back in the game. It wasn't the normal barrage that they usually hit you with. A Walter Clayton. Houck had a big game, I think, a couple games ago where he hit some big threes. It wasn't that type of showing, but it was the defense had started to pick it up. They were able to get some scores in transition, and they was able to get a bucket or two from Walter Clayton that put him that alleviated him from having. Had they lost and had he not caught that rhythm,
it was coming.
He would have
playing.
He would have gotten. He would have
got roasted, dog.
Yeah, he was horrible up until the last 10 minutes of the game.
I'm looking at the stats. It looked like he was trash. 3 of 10.
He trash. He was pretty much trash all night until the end.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. To the end, he didn't have any points. He didn't have. He only had one field goal attempt for a large majority of the game.
His pixie dust wore off.
Yeah, it was kind of what we said.
But Houston
offense let them down in the end. They went into one of those funks on offense that they go through. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And it caught up to them. So congratulations to Florida. I want to take nothing from Florida. And they played well this tournament. So actually the last part of the season they've been balling for real. You know what I'm saying? So to take nothing from them, they deserved it. They won. You know what I'm saying? So we won't call that a choke job. But what we will call in that semifinal game, the Cooper Flagg choke job. Now that was a choke job, G. What's your thoughts on your boy Cooper Flagg choking it away, bro?
You know who got to start first?
Jared. Talk on the choke job, bro. Defend your boy. Defend your boy.
And I'm
because you were so depressed you didn't even do your job and watch the championship game.
Man, listen, I was sick, man.
Hopefully he's just joking.
No, I'm not. I turned the game off as soon as Cooper Flagg was called for a foul at the free throw line.
He was sick.
And I didn't watch college basketball anymore after that. I didn't even watch the rest of the game after that. the reason is I was hurt. That's my squad, and we had a good chance to win a title. It was definitely a choke of mass. I don't even know what to call it. It was pathetic. I saw it coming, of course. Once they missed the three, and your boy got the tip dunk on the baseline, so that means we weren't alert. We weren't blocking out. We turned it over on the inbound. We looked like some 3 and 4-year-olds out there, trying to get some plays in right before the clock ran out. No timeouts called. The coaching was piss poor in those moments. And if you really look at it, we made some of the same mistakes that we made during the season in the 3 close games that we lost during the season. The same type of stuff: turnovers, panic, frustration. We went several minutes down the stretch. I think we went almost 10 whole minutes. Yeah, almost 10 minutes, maybe 9 minutes or so, without scoring. We only had 1 bucket down the stretch. We couldn't get any more scoring, and that's something that Houston has done all year. They turned the defense up, and we thought we had them figured out because we actually started pulling away in the second half, and they locked us back up, and we couldn't get anything going, but we still had control of the game until the last 55 freaking seconds of the game, and we just panicked. We panicked out there. We took terrible shots. Proctor never got on during that game. He had been playing well all the way leading up to the tournament. Knipple, Cooper was not himself, and it was because of the defense, but it was also because he was trying to be a part of the game, even though he wasn't doing the scoring. He was trying to be the assist guy. He was trying to be the rebound guy, which is what he does. He's a Swiss Army knife on the basketball court. He forced some shots. He also made some timely shots, but it just wasn't enough to keep the lead. And probably once that tip dunk happened, we believed we could lose. We didn't. I don't think any of the players or coaching thought that we could lose until that tip dunk happened. And once that happened, we did everything possible to lose the game. And like I said, after the call, and I know that's not why we lost, but that is where they finally took the lead in those final seconds when they went to the free throw line after Cooper Kupp was called for that weak ass over the back foul. And just recently we had Lamar telling us there's no such thing on the page. There's no such thing as over the back in basketball, and they called that weak ass call. I couldn't believe it. That was a wrap for me. That was it for me.
Well, the call isn't called over the back. It's a foul. It's just a foul. If you go through a man's back and you're on their back trying to rebound, it's a foul. They call it in the NBA. They call it in college. They call it in the pros. The thing about it is, and you said that Duke was going to win. Let's not get away from your from your boastfulness, your braggadocio attitude about Duke and this Cooper Flagg dude. So you had to stand on it. I don't want to hear nothing about no bad referee call. We had talked about it in our last episode.
I said that's not why we lost the game, G.
Don't bring it up because we know that college referees are trash. I'm going to give you that. That probably was not a foul. But when you give it to the refs.
You know who trash? Alabama trash. That's who trash. We beat the dog shit out of Alabama.
Well, let's talk about Alabama.
Nothing about no trash.
Let's talk about Alabama. Alabama played all 4 teams except for Duke, where all 3 teams, 3 of the Final 4 components.
When they ran up on Duke, they got destroyed.
And we beat Houston.
You didn't beat Duke.
We beat the shit out of Houston. We didn't beat the shit out of Houston for the last 3 to 4 years.
Who put them out? Who put Alabama out?
Yeah, we had a bad shooting night. That's all it is too.
Yeah.
We had a bad shooting night. That's what it was. We had a bad shooting night.
Yeah, that's what
and you saw exactly who Duke is. They're a bunch of front running pussies that when the going get tough, they couldn't come through like they fans wanted them to. That's what they are. They was front runners, a bunch of front runners. And when it got tough,
I already said we lost some close games just like that. I already
right. Hey, that's what I'm saying. You're front runners. When the going get tough, you can't pull it out.
It matters most.
Yeah, your pull-out game is trash. You out here having
Cooper Flagg couldn't knock it down when it mattered most.
Your pull-out game is super trash. You out here having babies everywhere because you can't either wrap it up or you can't get it out. You know what I'm saying? One of the other.
Shooting the club up.
Hey man, listen. When you got the lead and you up by 9 with 3 minutes left, and you don't pull it out, I don't want to hear nothing about no damn ref. I don't want to hear nothing about it. Don't even bring it up.
We didn't watch Shaka Zulu. We didn't watch Shaka Zulu. We
Let's say the words.
Yeah.
We choked. We choked.
And you say the words, we lost early in the tournament and had no shot.
Hey, but at least I had the dignity.
No shot.
At least I had the dignity to come back and watch the actual games.
I sure wish you had paid me some money. I told you.
Of course, I like to be fair on this show, G. You telling this man to say we choked, which I agree with you. He should be saying it. Can we hear you?
I did.
Can we hear you say Mark Sears choked?
Hey man, listen, do not do that.
What did he do? What did Mark Sears
do? I'm just trying to be fair here, G.
He didn't do that.
Don't do that.
I'm just trying to be fair, G.
That's not a choke, Jay. It ain't like he was off rhythm.
Don't do that. Then we can't say Cooper Flagg choked then. He had 27.
Well, that's what you put on the thing. I was going to say choke is a strong word. He played pretty well the entire game. You know what I'm saying? He just, when it comes to pulling it out in the clutch, he can't do it. When he feel, you know how them strokes coming in, and you feel it coming.
It got too good to you.
You can't pull it out, man. You can't pull it out. He fall all over himself. That's why I call him, what I used to call him, London Bridge. Didn't I call him London Bridge because at the beginning of the season, because he was falling down all the damn time.
I tell you what you do. You get in touch with your cousin, your blood cousin, or name cousin, whatever.
Hey, listen, if y'all keep talking about my cousin, we're gonna pull up on y'all.
Tell that dude
we're gonna pull up on y'all.
If he wants to be drafted, he needs to be working on his ball handling.
He got some close cousins that they played on the offensive line at Auburn, Tennessee, and Mississippi State. I'm gonna call all three of them. They're gonna come and see about you now.
Mid-range. He need to work on his
y'all gonna get off my cousin.
Just trying to be fair, G.
That ain't being fair. That is not being fair.
That game.
Like I said last week, where y'all cousins is? Y'all cousins was top 5 Naismith Award finalists? Hell no. Did y'all cousins set a record for 3-pointers made in a tournament game?
Hey man, we don't want to hear all this shit.
Yeah, you gon' hear it. You brought him up.
You see me, mighty Kevin Durant here.
Want to hear that from nobody?
Thin here, G. You're feeling a little Kevin Durant-ish around here, dog. You're a little thin-skinned.
Hey, listen, man. This conversation is about Duke and them choking away opportunity to get their ass beat by Florida. That's what we're talking about. They choked away opportunity.
We look
beat by Florida.
like national champions up until the last 55 seconds.
You ain't look like that national champion.
All year long. We were better than Auburn all year long. We were better than everybody.
That's a lie.
The last 55
You weren't better than Auburn. You weren't better than Tennessee. You weren't better than any team in the SEC.
We beat Auburn. So what are you talking about?
Early in the season,
we beat Auburn.
Cameron Indoor Stadium.
We beat Auburn.
It wasn't no return game.
We pulled it out on them. We pulled it out on everybody just the last 55 seconds of that game.
Cooper Flagg in the association. What is he? Superstar, star, role player? What is he?
He's a tweener between a role player and a star. He might have 1 or 2. He's the new Gordon Hayward.
Will he be an all-star?
Yeah, it'll be all-star.
Maybe 1 or 2 seasons. Maybe.
Once or twice.
I don't his game, how he's playing now, unless he has something different as far as what he takes advantage of in college, it won't happen. He don't have like a strong handle where he can just, you know
Yeah,
what I'm
his
saying,
handle
get to
needs
where he wants.
his handle
His
definitely
handle
needs
is,
work.
his handle ain't tight enough right now. He did a lot of taking advantage of getting switched on a smaller player and backing him down. Of course, you know what I'm saying, and we're playing with a bunch of All Americans, or I ain't gonna say All Americans, but a bunch of McDonald's All Americans, and you know, which their team had 3 or 4. Uh, it allowed for him to be able to take advantage of lesser talented teams. That ain't gonna be the case in the pros. Now he ain't gonna be trash, but he's not gonna be this all world dude that everybody thought was gonna be just the next. Uh, what was his comparisons? What was he getting compared?
His
Who was he getting compared
comparisons
to?
are Andre Kirilenko
Ooh, no.
and Andre Kirilenko
Nah,
and
dog. He wasn't getting no Andre Kirilenko comparisons. They was hyping
yeah,
him up over
it is okay.
over what he did during the summer. He had like 3 or 4 buckets, and they gushed over how well he played, and now everybody expected him to be this next superstar, and that ain't the case.
Yeah, because I've heard a lot of different stuff. I saw one site where they said Scotty. I saw Kawhi on
Scottie
one
Pippen,
site. I'm like, yeah, I don't see either of those.
So
You know what I'm saying?
he'll be a good defender.
let me help
He'll be
y'all
a
out.
good
Let me
defender.
help y'all
I
out.
saw Tatum on one post. I'm like, he not gonna be
Nah,
any of
man.
that. You know what I'm saying?
Let me help y'all out. The reason why you're hearing Scottie Pippen and Jason Tatum is because he's projected to be the number one pick. The thing about Cooper Flagg is that he can do damn near everything on the court, um, but he's not the master of some of the skill things. Yeah, he's not the greatest ball handler on the court, but he's good enough. He's good enough to get by you. He's good enough to go coast to coast. He's good enough to initiate offense. Defensively, he's a very good defender, whether it's help side or on his man. His jump shot, he doesn't really have a good pull up jump shot, but he can make a set shot from deep, and he can make the step back from mid range. So that's the best version of a pull up jump shot that he has. But everything else he can pretty much do on the court.
Without a tight handle, he ain't gonna be able to get to that step back.
Well,
So
okay, well
it sounds like he's
that's
gonna be a
his
3-and-D guy.
between now and the time he's drafted in the actual start of the season. I expect him to be better than Aaron Gordon was when he was a rookie in the NBA. I think he's definitely ahead of Aaron Gordon offensively. The athleticism is close for that size. He's going to get stronger. He'll be in the weight room. He'll have all the tools. Now, we're really getting ahead of ourselves because we don't even know if he's going to leave. It would be smart for him to leave because he's definitely the number one pick, but we don't even know if he's going to leave. So if you're asking me what he's going to end up being, I would go to his by his second, definitely by his third season. I believe he'll reach All-Star level. Aaron Gordon was close to being an All-Star, maybe his third or fourth season in Orlando.
What
So
about this
that's what
one I
I'm
saw?
looking at.
Lamar Odom. I saw
No,
that.
he ain't. No, because Lamar Odom was his nickname was the Goods. Lamar Odom had a handle. He wasn't the greatest defenders, but I mean he played some defense, that's for sure. No, Lamar
Lamar
Odom was
Odom,
a lot
who
more
was
What
polished.
about
on
your boy in
crack.
A lot
Toronto?
more
I
polished.
saw this one too, Scotty Barnes.
He's
Lamar
better.
Odom was on
He's
crack,
better
guys. Let's
offensively.
not do him like that.
He's better
Lamar Odom was on
offensively.
crack.
He's better offensive. He's better offensively right
So
now than
said
Scotty
Stephen A.
Barnes. He's better offensively right now than Scotty Barnes for sure.
Scottie Barnes not an
Right now,
all-star.
coming in, I'll agree, but I don't know about right now. Coming
Yeah,
in,
no,
like,
right now he's better than Scotty Barnes offensively.
nah, I ain't gonna do Scotty Barnes like that. Coming into the league, I'll give it to you, but now right now, nah. But let's move on, man, to something that's coming up. The NBA playoffs will be here in a minute, fellas. Western Conference play-in. What the hell? First of all, what the hell did the Spurs do last night? I mean, not the Spurs, but the damn Warriors do last night, man.
They blew
To
it.
the damn Spurs.
They blew it.
Falling into the play.
Hold on, wasn't this the guy that said the Warriors was just as they was going to be unbeatable in the Western Conference Finals or the Western Conference playoffs?
Before I
I'm just trying to clarify. I forget
before I
what
kill that
the
shit,
narrative is
Dante,
with the Golden State
in
Warriors.
college in his long season at Florida State, Scotty Barnes 10 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. He's
Right.
way ahead. He's way ahead of Scotty. Scotty Barnes was playing center.
You just said exactly what I said. I said coming into the league, yes, but I'm not gonna say he's ahead of him right now.
What do you mean? The boy was averaging 19 points a game.
I said coming into the league, yes, he's probably better, but you said he's better than Scotty Barnes right now.
No,
and I said no.
No, I was saying
at this point in their
season. At this point.
Okay. I agree with you on that. Yeah,
you need to make a clarification, because if you're gonna say he's better than Scotty Barnes right now, then you need to up your prognostication from star to superstar.
Well, I mean, Scotty Barnes is averaging 19 points.
I'm saying, if he coming into the league averaging 20 points, then he is on the superstar trajectory.
He came into the league. Scotty Barnes came into the league averaging 10 points, and his rookie year averaged 15. So if my man is coming in averaging 19 in college, y'all don't expect him to up that because he's gonna go to a sorry team.
I don't. So you see him as a 25-point scorer?
No, I see him as a 20, 22, something like that.
Right around, right. Where Barnes is 19 to 22 points. Okay, same range. Same kind of
play. What you expect him to average his rookie year? 20 points a game, 19 points a game?
Give me a number.
It depends on where he goes. He can put up a good.
He going to some shitty ass team. That's where he going.
Yeah, he can put up a good.
The Wizards.
I think
put him on the Wizards.
20.
The Wizards.
Oh no, he won't get 20 on the Wizards. They hold.
I disagree. I think that's the team where he can probably average 25.
That would be where he would. Yeah, that's where he would need to go to be able to average 20.
No, not with Poole on the team. You saw
it's enough shots on that team where he'll get his shots.
Right. If you go to the Jazz,
Kuzma was averaging 20 plus points a game before Poole got there. His numbers went down. So no. But back to the Warriors. Yeah, they let one slip last night. That's ridiculous. They let one slip against the freaking Spurs. The game shouldn't have been close. They took those boys for light, and it bit them in the ass in the end. So they deserve to lose that game because they didn't come in trying to just put them boys away and get out of there. They did not do that, and it cost them. It cost them major move in the standings. So now they definitely need their last 2 games to try to get out of that 7th seed, to get out of the play-in. They don't need to play in the play-in.
One of those against the Clippers, so that's not a gimme. Not a gimme. Probably Portland, probably a gimme, but that's not going to be a gimme against the Clippers. Yeah. Still look like they playing for something too.
Who's in the 6th spot right now?
Memphis
Grizz.
Yeah, they need that 6 in the worst way. Just because they're an older team, they don't need to be playing extra games. You know what I'm saying? They need that 6th spot in the worst way. And if Adam Silver had a spine, he'd help them out by suspending Ja's dumbass, the grenade launcher, the grenade thrower. Now he's throwing grenades in the game. He needs to be suspended. I suspend him for the rest of the season just to make a point. But they need that 6th spot in the worst way for sure.
Yeah, because Memphis, let's see who they have. They have
Memphis got a tough.
Minnesota, Denver, and Dallas left.
And Dallas. So and all 3 of those. Every team is jockeying for
something. Right.
So they Dallas ain't tough. Dallas just laid down. No, they ain't. They just laid down last night.
They tough enough. It's not
when comparing with Memphis, they can beat Memphis.
Right.
No. Dallas laid down. Speaking of that game, listen. And I know
we ain't done with the Warriors.
I know
we ain't done with the Warriors yet. We've got to finish with the
Warriors. Go ahead. Shut us down on the Warriors.
You can get on your Lakers hate
it ain't
at any moment in time.
I'm gonna give you something that you didn't mention last night, but go ahead.
I ain't mentioned a lot last night. Yeah, the Warriors, man, they're gonna be. It's listen. I can't call if they're gonna make the play in or not. Every one of these teams can beat each other.
Yep.
Every one of them. Everyone that's
anybody,
jockeying from 7-4 because all of those teams are jockeying, right? You know what I'm saying? The Lakers need to win one more game to sew up the 3 seed, which I think they'll do. So the Warriors, I think they'll win their next few games. It's gonna depend on if Minnesota can win theirs and if Golden State can win their last 2. Golden State got a game against Sacramento, and who else they got left?
No, you said Golden State.
They got the Clippers and the Trailblazers.
I said the Nuggets. I meant the Nuggets.
Okay.
I'm going through the teams. Minnesota, the Nuggets have Sacramento, and let me see who they got left.
Memphis.
Sacramento and Memphis. So those are 2 games that they can win. So they may end up locking up the 4 seed. So it's gonna be that 5 to 6.
No, actually they beat Sacramento last night. They got Memphis and Houston left.
Memphis and Houston. And Houston's probably gonna be resting their players because they got this.
Yeah, they started resting their players last night.
Yeah. So they've sewn up the 2 seed. So I think Denver's going to lock up the 4 seed. So it's going to be between the Clippers, Grizz, and the Warriors. It may be the Grizzlies that may be the odd man out.
And that's what I just said. But okay.
Into that 7th and 8th seed.
That's what I just said. Golden State definitely needs to move up. They need to move up as high as they can go because, like I said, they're just an older team. They don't need the extra games. I was hoping they stay in that 4 or 5 range and end up playing the Lakers. They can still end up playing the Lakers. I think they can beat the Lakers in the first round. The Clippers, we never know with the Clippers. The Clippers a few years ago decided to lose games in order to avoid playing somebody in the playoffs. So you never know with them. I never agree with any team that's voluntarily loses. That's ridiculous. Kind of like my Celtics did last night by sitting 6 of our top scorers. Ridiculous, but whatever. Golden State definitely needs to move up. I believe in this Golden State team.
They can't play the Lakers in the first round because unless they get to the 6th seed.
That's what I said.
You want them to get to the 6th seed.
I think they have a good shot at beating the Lakers.
What if they get?
I would like to see them in the 6th. I want them to. Yeah, I think they would do themselves a disservice having to play the play-in and go to the playoff. That's ridiculous. They need to get.
I think they're better off playing. I think they're better off playing Houston. I really do. I think they're better off playing Houston, that young Houston team.
They don't want to see Luke and LeBron.
I think they're better off playing Houston in that first round. I know they probably don't want to be the play-in, but one extra game ain't gonna kill them. You know what I'm saying? I think they're better off getting the 7 and playing Houston.
One extra game will kill them, man. They older, man. They
older. Not the way the NBA do these playoff games. They'll have plenty of rest between games. I don't think they want to see the Lakers in that first round.
Shit, Houston gonna beat them up in the first round. They don't want to play coming in playing a headstrong defensive team. I know
the Houston team you said was gonna drop all the way to the bottom.
Houston ain't got enough.
You said it was no way Houston was gonna hold on to the second seed. I can pull it up. You said it.
You did say that.
No, that's not what I said.
It is what you said.
That's not what I said.
There was no way you believe they were gonna hold on to the 2 spot. That's exactly what you said.
You can go back 2 shows, and what I actually said was, I am surprised.
No, that's what you said 2 shows ago. I'm talking about before that.
when they were at the beginning of the season, when they were in the
Alternate
third, when they were in the third seed at the beginning of the season, what I said about Houston was that I didn't believe in their defense, and I didn't think that they would remain that high. I did not.
Right.
Y'all,
That's what I just said.
Let me no. You added something. You said that I said they will fall all the way out into the play-in. That's not what I said. That's not what I said. I did believe in their defense.
Rearranging what he said.
Rearranging what he said.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all take what I said and add on to it.
I know for a fact that you said that the Lakers would not make the play-in this year.
We're not talking about the Lakers right now.
We
talking about the Houston.
I know you said that. You was definitely
will you
down on
please
Houston.
take LeBron's jock strap out of your hand and put it in a drawer somewhere and wait
you
till
take
we talk
Michael
about
Jordan's,
the damn Lakers.
You take Michael Jordan's pumps out of your hand.
Are we talking about who? Now he's bringing up Michael Jordan. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. But yeah, Houston talking about
what you said, sir. Prognostications. You're wrong. Prognostications. That's what we're talking about.
Was I wrong when I said Duke was gonna beat the shit out of Alabama?
You was wrong when you said Duke was gonna win the championship. You was wrong about that.
I appreciate that.
But anyway,
the Rockets defensively, I think they can beat up on them boys if I had to play them after an extra game. But they're inexperienced, so we can't even really it'll be hard for us to judge, even though they've had a successful season and made it to number 2. We do have to give them credit for their defense, but when it comes time to playoff, and you talk about a battle-tested team and battle-tested players, and the vets like Curry, Jimmy Buckets, and Draymond Green leading that squad, they have a good chance to upset anybody in the first round, in my opinion, as long as they don't have to play an extra game.
Yeah, tonight is critical for Minnesota because this is really their last tough game tonight against Memphis. They got to have it, you know what I'm saying, tonight. They have to have this one tonight, you know what I'm saying, because they got the Pelicans and Utah left, I think. Is it? I know it's 2 terrible teams. I know they got left.
Both teams that are in the 7 and the 8 seed choked away wins.
Yeah, exactly. Because they had Milwaukee dead to right, you know what I'm saying, and gave it away, you know what I'm saying. Memphis, Brooklyn, and Utah is who they have left. So this one tonight for them is really big for Minnesota if they trying to dig out the play-in.
I am so disappointed in this Minnesota squad. Like the whole season.
I told you when they added Julius Randle, this is what
Julian Randle at the beginning. The best thing that happened to Julian Randle this season was for him to get hurt and to sit down and watch the team. But they regressed defensively on this squad. Edwards shot a hell of a lot. I guess the coach said, "Hey, you're gonna have to take half of Cat's threes this year," because he started playing more on that perimeter than getting to that mid range and getting to the cup. We didn't see as many, dunks or body bags as he normally leaves in his wake during a season. Mike Conley being hurt, that's age. A lot of the season that hurt him as well. We thought that saving grace would be, the McDaniels of the world. I felt like the coach should have been playing. What's the rookie point guard they have? They play him sometime out of Kentucky. I can't think of his name right now. Number 3, number 4, whatever. I thought he would get more burn all season, but he didn't. He was in and out of the lineup or whatnot. The cat can, really fill it up. But they just so disappointed. And then on top of everything, Edwards comes out and says he don't want to be the face of the league. That just put me way off on that dude. Like I thought he was ready to take over, especially with Ja choosing to sit out being the face of the league or, cool off his superstardom. It was right there for the taking for Edwards, and they regressed this year. Although they've been on a heater lately, they've found some type of winning formula, but I just think it's just too late. And I think they return back to the Timberwolves they were before Denver put them out of the playoffs last year.
So who do y'all think end up 7-8?
I'm gonna go Memphis. I'm gonna go Memphis, Minnesota. and the Warriors get up to 6 or 5.
Who you got, G?
Yeah, I got Minnesota, and I think it's gonna stay where it's at.
G
I
State
think
in the
it's gonna
7.
be 7-8.
Yeah.
Memphis has the tougher teams to play.
Memphis
Are they
got
last two games the tougher teams?
Memphis got Minnesota,
Denver and
they
Dallas.
got Denver and Dallas.
Yeah, I think Memphis falls to the play-in because I think they're gonna lose tonight. I think Minnesota will clip them tonight. I think they fall to the play-in, and I
They
think
play Minnesota at home.
yeah, I still think Minnesota gonna get them. I think Minnesota gonna get them. I think they fall to the play-in. I think they lose to Minnesota and they lose to Denver, and fall to the play-in. I think G State gets out. I think it's gonna end up. I think Minnesota and G State get out. G State. I'm torn on G.
Don't they play the Clippers?
Yeah, that's
They
what
play the Clippers and Portland.
It depends on
and the
because they
Clippers.
can lose.
It depends on what the Clippers have to play for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, depends on what they got to play for. They may be locked in if they win this next game. They may be locked in. So it just depends. I can't really.
Yeah, it's dependent because you know they're gonna sit Kawhi if they got it locked in. You know
never
Kawhi
know
not
who's gonna
playing.
sit who. Yeah, you don't know
So-
who's gonna sit
probably
who.
might not play. You know what I'm saying? It just depends.
So since it's so hard to predict, who would you rather see? Who would you rather see out?
Talking about those
out
first
of
round
the play?
matchups.
Right. Who would you rather see in the first round matchups? I don't care. I don't care who gets up there as long if Golden State can escape the play-in, that's just my wish that they don't have to play an extra game and they got the same amount of rest to play whoever their first.
I want the Clippers or the Lakers. I want it to fall where they have to play each other in the first round.
The Clippers and Lakers.
I want the LA series in the first round. I don't care if the Clippers have to fall to 6 and the Lakers stay at 3. Lakers fall to 4. Clippers at 5. I want to see it right off the rip.
Lakers ain't falling to no. They
I'm saying, that's why I said, or the Clippers fall to 6. You know what I'm saying?
They will have the 3 seed locked up. They're gonna beat Houston, and
or the Clippers fall to 6, whatever. I would like to see that right off the bat.
Houston is sitting everybody. The Lakers are gonna go ahead and win in LA, and then they're gonna sit for the Trailblazer game to go ahead. So the 3 seed locked up.
Yeah, so Clippers fall to 6 then, and give me Lakers and Clippers round 1.
I got one word for you on why I wouldn't want to see that. Because that's a hard series, and Harden quits when it's a hard series. I do not want to see that because that boy will lay down. As soon as things get tough, he lays down. Every time
I want to see it.
He has never faced adversity in the playoffs and not quit. Never. It's never happened his whole career. As soon as it gets tough.
Kawhi, you want to get back on the map? Send the Lakers home.
He can't do it. He can't do it by himself. He's not that Kawhi. He can't do it by himself. He can't do it by himself.
Wheelchair. Ain't finna send the Lakers home. It ain't happening.
So we would be dependent on Kawhi and Powell and Zubac to beat Luka and Bron and the hillbilly white boy.
Norman Powell, Colin Powell. Buy me a vial. Lakers in 5.
I wouldn't mind seeing that one. You know what I'm saying? That one would be pretty good to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm just ready for these playoffs to begin at this point, man. We'll see what happens. Of course, Luka returned to Dallas last night. Lakers got the quick victory, easy. Well, I ain't gonna say easy. They pulled away in the 4th. You know what I'm saying?
Easy.
They pulled away in the 4th. You know what I'm saying?
Luka.
Y'all buying the Lakers as a threat now to win the title?
We said this.
To win the title.
This was in the making when they traded for Luka. And we saw what y'all said couldn't happen. LeBron playing off the ball. Like I told you, he was giving up the rock to Austin Reeves. He ain't gonna get a rock up for goddamn Luka Doncic. Are you fucking serious?
I didn't say that.
Now, the question, I got the mic now. I got the mic. I got the mic. Hold on. I know you hate to hear and hate to see and hate to see.
Stop misquoting people. Stop misquoting people. Stop misquoting people.
So you didn't say that LeBron and Luka couldn't play together.
We said
that LeBron wouldn't give the ball up.
We asked the question, can they? Because we have never seen LeBron get off the ball as much as he would have to with Luka. That's what we said, man. You hadn't seen it before.
I said that he gave the ball up to Austin Reeves. Why wouldn't he give the ball up to Luka Doncic? And speaking of hillbilly Kobe, that boy playing ball. That boy is playing ball. I don't know if there's a better 3-man rotation with playmaking and shot-making abilities than the Lakers have. The only concern I have for the Lake Show is
3 worst defenders as the top
3 worst
as the top 3.
You out your mind. If you watch the Lakers play, LeBron is the best one of their best defenders on the team. And is making it work.
Okay. Okay.
That ain't saying shit.
And that's saying what?
It's saying that they're doing enough to win. That's what it's saying.
But G, you know they're not good defensively. G, come on, G, stop it. Those 3 individually are not good defenders.
They are in a zone for a reason, sir.
They're not playing those zones.
JJ Redick, they are playing zones.
They play zone
every zones. He ain't drawing them up for nothing.
Man, stop it. They don't play zone nearly half the time.
So they weren't dropped in the zone when they were stealing the ball.
Okay, I'll put it this way. LeBron is okay. Luka is horrible. Austin Reeves is bad. There you go.
Austin Reeves actually been playing pretty good ball on the defensive side of the ball too. That's why it's working. If he was bad as he was the last few years, and him getting his NBA sea legs, Austin Reeves doesn't play bad defense. He competes. He competes. That's all you can ask for. He ain't no lockdown defender, but he competes.
What is he talking about? They hunt the shit out of him and Luka. Good team.
I said
last year before they had Luka, who was the person they hunted was Reeves all year long. So what are you talking about? He's not a bad defender. Stop. What
did you say? What did you say? Did you say? You said last year. And I said
year too.
This year
they
playing a lot better on defense.
Greg, they got Luke. When did they get Luke on the team?
Hey, is it my time? Is it my time to talk? I thought I was talking. Y'all, you can't hear. You can't accept anything good that's being said about the Lakers. You need to just shut up and listen and watch the games. That's all. Watch the games. I said that Austin Reeves has competed on defense a lot better than he has in the past.
And then you said he's not a bad defender.
He's not a bad defender.
Okay.
But he's not a great defender either. He competes. He competes. He ain't just gonna lay down.
Okay.
He's not just gonna lay down. If he did, the Lakers would be much worse on defense. They were the #1 defensive rated team for about a month recently. And their defense just fell off when LeBron
about 7 games
was injured.
About 7 games.
7 games. It was 21 games, sir. 19-3 during that time frame.
About 7 games.
Okay. How much you want to bet that we can pull up the stats that say the Lakers were the #1 rated defense from January 15th to about sometime in March?
I want you to hurry up and finish spit shining this team.
I ain't gonna hurry up. I'm gonna continue to say what I've been said, which is the Lakers have the capability of winning it all. No one wants to see Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves in a 7-game series. Definitely not Luka, and definitely not LeBron, and definitely not those two matched up together on the same damn team. Stop it. Lakers in 5.
So last night, was
now here we go. Hold on. Here we go with a bunch of excuses on why his prognostication of the Lakers losing twice in OKC and now beating Dallas is an excuse.
I'm only gonna talk about the Dallas game last night because the OKC game they threw Luka out, so I don't even want to talk about that. There's no need in even talking about that. They split.
Yeah, because they beat the shit out of them the first game.
They split,
and they was winning before they threw him out.
They did destroy OKC. They
beat their ass.
They got real hot from three, and we saw what happened when they didn't get hot from three. But
they was still hot from three the last game.
Last night against the Dallas Mavericks, Jason Kidd
scored 72 points in the first half.
Jason Kidd made certain that Luka had a good homecoming. How do we know this? We know this because
excuse.
Spencer Dinwiddie has been playing point guard all the way up until last night. Suddenly, Jason Kidd decides to take away the point guard and don't start a point guard in the rotation. Why? Because he wants Luka to have a good game. He put in
Spencer Dinwiddie was going to keep Luka.
No, Greg. But they've been running with a point guard. You don't value positions and the game like I do. But the team needed to have their point guard who is the head of the snake, who is their offensive threat to get everybody else off. That's his job in the offense. When you put him on the bench, then he turns into Dunwiddie like he has been any other time he's come off the bench. Very, very conspicuous for Jason Kidd to do that. He didn't make many adjustments all game. AD helped him out by all of a sudden he couldn't even catch the basketball. He had 4 turnovers in the game. His scoring, he wasn't really a scoring threat in the game. His rebounds weren't up.
April 5th started against the Clippers. 1 for 11, 8 points, 33 minutes.
I've never seen a team.
Spencer Dinwiddie.
I've never seen a team lay down like that in that type of game when you're supposed to try to ruin somebody's homecoming. And instead they gave it to him. So last night was very sad to me, but it's right on par with today's league in this era. They just gave away the game. They didn't even try.
Excuses.
That's not excuses. That's what that game was.
You just heard some more.
That's just the truth. That's just
that wine, sir. Do you need some more cheese with that wine?
Every time they threw it to AD, it was getting ripped from him. He's stumbling and fumbling. It was ridiculous.
Do you need?
He should have went into that game trying to have a 30-15 night with 3 or 4 blocks, and he didn't even try. It was
need some more cheese with that wine.
A very pathetic showing. The man didn't he have like 30-some points in the first quarter? That's ridiculous. Or the first half or whatever. That's ridiculous.
Do you need some more cheese with that wine?
Bigger threat to win the title, Clippers or the Lakers?
Oh, the Lakers, because the Clippers got James Harden. The Lakers are more of a threat to go play for the title. They're not winning shit. They're not winning no title this year. All these LeBron.
So you can see them going to the Western Conference Finals?
Not if they run into the Warriors. I think the Warriors can knock them out.
Notice how he said all these LeBron fans. LeBron name wasn't even brought up in my little soliloquy, other than you don't want to see all 3 of them.
Stop it, Greg.
I don't get your excuse making for teams that play the Lakers. You always have an excuse for why they're winning. I didn't give an excuse, Greg. You never, ever,
Dante, did Dinwiddie start last night? Is that a fact or is that an excuse?
Dinwiddie started against.
Did Dinwiddie start last night?
Listen, Dinwiddie started the night before against the Clippers. And
He's been starting ever since Luka's been gone, man.
You know what he had last night, the night before?
I don't care what you had. My point is,
8 points on 1 for 11 shooting. Stop it with this Spencer Dinwiddie bullshit.
Jason Kidd decided to pull the point guard out of the starting lineup.
Here we go with some old conspiracy theory. Just say that the Lakers won and be
how
done
is that
with
conspiracy, Greg? The man has been the point guard ever since Luka left. Luka come back in town.
He ain't been the point guard every game. I guarantee you that. I know he ain't been the point guard every game. He has not been the point guard every game.
They don't have another point guard, Greg.
You can stop with all that.
They don't have another point guard, Greg. Spencer Dinwiddie is it. He's the point guard. Since Luka left, he's been the point guard. Luka come back on their last game, he sits him. For no reason. What's the reason?
Maybe because he wasn't playing well.
Okay. All right. I bet the next game, he'd be in the starting lineup. I guarantee you the next 2 Dallas games, Spencer Dinwiddie will be back in the starting lineup. So, yeah, that contributes to that.
Like I said, you never have nothing. The Lakers never do anything. They just are a victim, or they're created by their circumstances, by the teams just not playing well.
You're a LeBron fan, and you need that narrative. That's not the narrative.
That's the narrative that you paint all the time.
Brought up
have you ever heard him when the Lakers are on their winning streak? What did he say? Did he ever say, "Oh, they playing well right now"? Did he ever say, "Oh, they defense gelling"? It looked like LeBron and Luka gelling. Did he say any of that? He always, they played the weakest part of their schedule. When in fact they didn't.
Why do you need me? You need
instead
me
of just saying, "Hey, Luka came in and clowned them dudes."
Do you need me to say anything good about the Lakers? Is that what you need? Tell me something good you said about the Celtics.
It just speaks to your inability to be objective.
What have you said? What have you said positive about the Celtics?
That they won the championship last year, and I gave them congratulations.
Why would you say that? You didn't have
I actually created a whole graphic that said, "Congratulations, Celtics." One of our first edited podcasts that we did. So what are you talking about?
Whatever, dude.
Hey, we'll see, man. These playoffs are coming up very soon. We'll see what the Lakers have in store for. They definitely seem to have found them a big 3, but we'll see. You know what I'm saying?
A big 3.
A big 3. We'll see. Hey, let's dive off into this NFL a little bit, because we got the big draft special coming up on the 19th. Am I right with that date, Jerry?
Yepper.
On the 19th. So make sure y'all check out the NFL draft special we got coming up on the 19th. Gonna do our very own mock draft and see how this first round gonna go. But let's talk about Mike Tomlin and these Steelers. This whole A-Rod drama. Greg, why are they waiting around for this dude? And should they be waiting around for this dude to make a decision?
They should. What else? They gonna go with Kenny Pickett again? They already rode that train.
They got your boy they just signed back.
They signed back?
Mason Rudolph.
I thought they did. Who got Kenny Pickett?
Nah, he went to the Browns.
Browns, okay. I mixed it up. I knew they went and did.
Yeah, they got a retread.
Signed a player, a retread.
Yeah, they got a retread.
So I had the wrong name. Yeah, they better wait on Aaron Rodgers. You don't want to go into the season with Mason Rudolph as your starting quarterback. I know you don't want to do that. So listen, they made a mistake in letting Russ go. I think they should have kept Russ and tried to draft a quarterback this season and continue to play the market. But that's the decision that they made. I mean, Russ wasn't gonna win them no Super Bowl or nothing like that. So Aaron Rodgers is their best hope at this moment. Why not?
You agree, Jerry?
Oh man, I think this is so unfortunate for Steelers and Steeler fans, because it wasn't a situation where they let these cats go. These cats chose to leave Pittsburgh. We understand why Justin Fields would.
I think they let Russ go. Now, I agree with you with Fields. They let Russ go.
This is the reason why. The reason I say that is because Russ Russ said he wanted to be back. That was the last thing he said on the mic. He said that he wanted to be back. I think that Russ chose to go ahead and dip out to avoid the embarrassment simply because they started talking this Aaron Rodgers stuff. There was no need to be waiting
to secure a job. Yeah.
once
Blame
I think once they started hearing the rumors about the Aaron Rodgers, or maybe they even told him. Maybe they told him we want to have Aaron Rodgers in camp too, and he was like, I'm out.
Right,
You
you
know,
are black. No, what they told him is you are our backup plan. If we don't get Aaron, we'll swing back around. He said,
yeah.
hell no.
So him choosing he left. He wanted to play. He went to where he could go play. So I can't knock Russ for that. I might have made that same decision just to get out of there and not, wait around for Aaron news. But on the flip side of that, Russ has had a what's the word? He's overrated himself ever since he was in Seattle. He had a higher belief in himself, which they say you're supposed to have that as an athlete, but if you're just going on your merit on what you've done on the field, he was good in Seattle, but he turned into a player that thought he was just, to me, as if he was great, and that's never been the case. But waiting on Aaron Rodgers, I just think they've messed this whole thing up. Now you have to wait on either Aaron Rodgers. Did Cousins sign yet? Has Cousins signed? Because that was the other.
Yeah, the Falcons keep saying he's not available, but I just think they're waiting on the right offer.
Yeah, so that's the other quarterback that I keep hearing, mumblings about. So I guess Cousins, if Aaron doesn't come to Pittsburgh, I guess they're gonna put their focus on Cousins. That's crazy to me.
My thing, the question is then, does Aaron Rodgers make them a Super Bowl contender?
I don't think so. Not with that line. Not with that. We just saw Aaron Rodgers play with a bad line. We just saw it. So going to Pittsburgh, maybe the team is better coached, or not maybe. The Steelers would be better coached, so maybe they can coach that up and fix that in real time in camp if Rodgers is going to be in camp. Rodgers has chose to miss camp ever since he, before he left Green Bay. Is he going to miss camp for the Steelers? Is that a deal breaker? It's so many things that you have to deal with Aaron Rodgers before you even get to the field. And I just felt like the Steelers would be the type of franchise, and Mike Tomlin would be the type of coach that will be above allowing this type of shit to happen, to wait on this dude, this self-centered dude who definitely loves this type of attention.
I think they painted themselves in a corner before this, though, with the mediocrity over the past whatever year since they actually won a playoff game. Because honestly, let's be honest, bro, we talk about coaches getting fired all the time. If it weren't the Steelers, Tomlin, any other organization, he probably already fired with the level of mediocrity that they've had. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't get to do what he's done. And I like Tomlin. I like Mike Tomlin as a coach. But let's just be for real. He always yelling the standard is the standard. Well, right now the standard is 1 and done, 9-8 seasons, 1 and done. That's been the standard. And I guess the question is, whose fault is it at quarterback? Does he have control over that? You know what I'm saying? Did he pick Kenny Pickett? You know what I'm saying? Most of the time, that's a mistake you don't get to rectify as a head coach. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think I'm with y'all that he doesn't have a choice where he has to wait. Because what's the alternative? A rookie quarterback?
See, my thing with the Steelers, because, what you just said is what's been said for years and years, talking about the mediocrity and how Tomlin is a part of mediocrity. I agree, the seasons they've been having has been mediocre. They haven't won a playoff game. That's true. But in my opinion, I look at it as Tomlin is doing a hell of a job, because we got to go back to when the organization chose, not Tomlin, the organization chose to hold on to Ben Roethlisberger and give him flowers for those garbage ass years at the end. The organization chose that.
But see that that's what I'm saying. How much power does he actually hold? Is my question.
I think he's
are these
just the
his
coach.
Decisions, or are these organizational decisions that he just has to live through?
I fully believe these are organizational, and I believe that Tomlin is the type of cat that stays in rank and file. He knows what his job is. He loves to coach. I've heard him say it on two or three podcasts.
It seems like you're right, because to me, that's the only way you can make it this long.
Yeah, because
it's mediocre. You know what I'm saying?
The picking up the guy that played in Pittsburgh, which one? Pickett? Was it Pickett that played in Pittsburgh? He's from the area. Right. I heard him say we saw that kid play in high school and in college or whatever. I saw him say that. The organization chose to stay in their backyard and pick this dude and give him a shot. So they have some positions that they have not gotten right as a franchise. So we go to the GM and the ownership. They hadn't got some picks right, which to me is why he's still the coach, because they know we put the players around him. He did the best he could with them, and he still never missed the playoffs. So that's the way I look at it. And
yeah, I can see it that way. If that's all true, because we don't know. But if that's the case, I agree with you. You know what I'm saying? Because that's always been my kind of thing. Did he make the Ben Roethlisberger decision? Did he make the Kenny Pickett choice? You know what I'm saying? Are these his decisions, or are these just the organizational decisions, and he coaches the football team? You know what I'm saying? So it kind of depends on what the situation is. You know what I'm saying?
If you can remember, he was saying some slick shit about the quarterback position when Roethlisberger in those last few years, and there was talk about a riff or whatnot, and he was calling out Roethlisberger, because let's face, Roethlisberger was real bad his last few years. He was really bad.
Yeah, he was.
So he, I can see. I have always looked at it as, he just coaches. Y'all give me the tools, and I'm gonna put them together and try to. Or y'all give me the food, and I'm gonna make the meal. He wasn't like Parcells. I need the help doing this, that. I'm sure he had some say in some decisions or whatever, but those final decisions, I think, definitely holding on to Roethlisberger and definitely picking up Pickett because they watched them all through high school and through college. I think all of that was organizational, and they are willing to live with it because he does his best as a coach. When they've made bad decisions, they still made the playoffs for the fans. That's the way I've always looked at it.
Right. We'll see, man, because I'm kind of with you. I know you said earlier, I think A-Rod is kind of waiting around to see what that Viking situation going to look like and trying to, you know what I'm saying, hold on to that. But we'll see, man. If I'm the Steelers, though, I'm drafting the QB at some point in this draft. I don't know if it's the first round. I don't know which one of us will be picking for the Steelers, but I know
it better be the first round. It better be the first round. It better not be that.
Hey, I heard he visited the Steelers, though, G. Why you tripping? I think he had a visit with the Steelers.
Yeah, they saying the Giants may draft him in the second round.
Second round, yeah, I saw that too. Saw that one too. But
man, hey, people looking at me, that's ridiculous.
Hey man,
and say he going to the draft to be in the green room.
You just saw Richardson. Richardson is that boy terrible. And that's gonna be the same.
He had a little bit better throwing career in college than Richardson has, but I do see him on the same level as Anthony Richardson.
I do too. He a project for sure. He one of the ones.
Definitely a project.
He going to take the Jordan Love route in 3 years, bro, on the bench, bro. 3 years. Sit down and watch, bro.
He got to get his throwing mechanics together.
Yeah, they should have done the same thing with Anthony Richardson. I thought that's why they drafted Anthony Richardson with the Colts. I'm thinking, okay, 3 years, he gonna sit.
Not that high. The owner, the owner was at the combine. I remember that story. The owner was at the combine.
That drunkard.
And
he out there like Ned the Wino guy.
And he was
allegedly.
He was out there just like everybody else with the oohs and ahs with that boy fastball and his deep ball. He was out there with the oohs and ahs, and he thought I got him.
They fall in love with it every year. It's always one, bro.
They was at the meat market. They had him up there.
Now wait a minute. We talking now. That's only in Dallas. We talk about meat market.
They had it meat market everywhere.
Only
They
in
had that meat.
Dallas.
They had that meat market everywhere. Don't you but sit there and
Everywhere.
believe that Jerry
Only
Jones, the
Dallas.
only one out there measuring penises.
Only Dallas. Only
all
Dallas.
of them out.
Don't
All
you
of them
dare
out
try
there.
to put that on nobody else.
Hey,
We heard it from the horse's mouth.
I ain't heard nobody else say it.
We heard nobody else talk about no man's dick in the NFL other than Jerry Jones.
they just caught him on the hot mic. The rest of them out there measuring penises too.
You better believe it was hot. You better believe it. I can't believe it. Man, stop with that crash out shit, man.
Hey man, it is
man,
what it is.
Stop with that crash out shit.
It's a crash out.
You're gonna be wearing skinny jeans too. Keep that shit up.
I got a bunch of pair of skinny jeans.
Oh, that's awful.
Well, we not about to crash out, but we about to be out. Hey, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube. Trash Talking with the Old Heads, also on Spotify and Facebook. We appreciate all the support. Again, we'll be bringing these relationship topics to you all summer long. To
get your money right.
Get your money right before you get
your
married.
money
That's
right
JW word for the day.
Get your money right before you jump that.
My advice: hit it and quit it. Don't tell you what an old man once told me. What an old man once told me about marriage.
Hey,
hold on. Let me tell you.
Greg's alone.
Let me tell you what an old man once told me about marriage. 3 words: don't do it.
And on that, from the Old Heads, man, we out of here. Thank you for the support. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
That dude said, don't do it.
Hey, man.